Hello and welcome once again to another episode of Robo Luchador. I'm your host Russell, joined by, as always, you need to say that again, Morgan. Apparently I didn't unmute you.
Morgan.
My bad. Technical difficulties. They happen. I could have swore I hit the unmute button, though.
Yay!
So, how's the audience been this week? Please put your answers in the comments below. I will read them. I might reply to some. I look forward to them.
Do you want me to get us started?
Yeah, let's, what would you say was the biggest news this week? Because it was still a very slow week.
I wouldn't say that necessarily, but
It's slower than what we're used to. Like, it's not summer...
it's slower than when we had the 3-week gap, but it's kind of just a normal paced week, to be honest.
Yeah.
The only reason the last few weeks have seemed so short is because we had that big a break.
Yeah. I'm managing. I'm not, dying anymore. And neither is my rig, so...
But I can get us started off if you want.
Yeah, let's go for it. What do we got?
DC announced a new imprint. It's called Young Animal, and Jared Way is heading it.
Interesting.
He's going to be writing 3 of the series, well, 3 of the 4 series, and the lineups include Doom Patrol, Shade the Changing Girl, Cave Carson has a cybernetic eye, and Mother Panic. I think Mother Panic's the one thing he isn't writing.
I'm glad Doom Patrol's coming back.
Yep. Looks quite interesting. I'm pretty sure Cave Carson was a Silver Age DC character, so apparently they're bringing him back or something.
Rings a bell. It rings so many bells. I'm trying to think if he's one of their Silver Age characters or he's one of their pulp characters.
Shade the Changing Girl is apparently about a bully who is taken over by some sort of alien or something, and I'm pretty sure that's all that's been released about it, but sounds kind of weird.
Sounds like a 90s Nickelodeon show.
And where's Mother Panic is apparently about, what was that again? I think it was some sort of Gotham rich person who's a vigilante by night and is fighting crime and such. So which doesn't sound that different, but the way that they're presenting it does. I'll send you some of the pictures.
So not Batman.
No, definitely not.
But very much like Batman.
Yep.
Ugh.
Doodle-doo. Doom Patrol.
Okay.
Give Carson.
Do you have links for any of this? Because I'll go ahead and just drop those in the chat.
I do not have links, but I do have pictures.
Pictures are harder to put in the chat.
Yeah, I sent those. I have read something by Jared Way before. I think it was Umbrella Academy, and from my recollection, it was a real good book, so I'm excited that he's got that many series in the works.
Yeah. I like the cover. I like this Doom Patrol teaser cover. I really do.
Yep.
Though it does look like I can see an iconic Doom Patrol image, but it looks like we may not be getting the Doom Patrol we're familiar with. I can see Robot Man. Yeah, but it's hard to tell at this point.
Yeah, but again, that does all sound interesting. But continuing with comics, a few details that I missed with Rebirth kind of caught my eye again, and it's the fact that the new Green Lanterns of Earth are Simon Baz, who's already been kind of solidified in the Justice League of America, and the current Power Ring, who is Jessica Cruz. She becomes a Green Lantern apparently with Rebirth, and they are both the Green Lanterns assigned to Earth, so that's quite interesting in my opinion. Apparently she's the first female Green Lantern of Earth.
Jade had honorary status. So I'm
Pardon?
curious about that. Jade, the daughter of Alan Scott, had honorary status.
I was pre-52, and I still don't think she was an actual assigned Green Lantern to Earth.
So Jessica Cruz ends up
Is
with
the-
the Earth 3 Green Lantern ring, essentially.
Yeah, she already has that, but apparently she's going to be becoming a Green Lantern with Rebirth in some sort of way.
You know, Hal Jordan's still running around being a criminal with the original Green Lantern, with the prototype Green Lantern ring, so...
Yep. But the fact that Simon Baz, an Arab American, and Jessica Cruz, a Latino American, and a woman, I may add, are the new Green Lanterns, makes me happy.
Yeah, Disney likes to play with... DC likes to play with things, so...
But, well, at the same time, we've gotten 3 white guys and 1 black guy as Green Lantern. That's not like a massive amount of diversity, so the fact that they're continuing with that makes me happy.
Well, yeah.
Again, I did find that quite interesting, but yeah, IGN's still bashing Batman vs Superman like they are Joker bashing Jason Todd with a crowbar. They have reposted
Too
their
soon,
review.
man. Too soon.
Oh, I know, but they have reposted their review. I think I counted 7 times last time I looked, and they still keep like doing little opinion pieces on why it was such a terrible movie. Right, you are free to your opinion, but see if you keep reposting about how well a movie's doing, what the records are, and like constantly reposting your review when you do that with no other movie, it kind of shows a bit of bias.
Yeah, I think they're mad because they didn't get any sort of, like, anything for this movie. And, like, generally with comic book movies, they get at least 1 sneak peek, but DC didn't even throw them, Warner Brothers didn't even throw them a bone for this one. So.
I know, but again, lashing out like that when they said that Man of Steel was a 9, it was amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And then going straight from that to saying, oh, it was okay, but we're going to keep reposting about how it's terrible and how, the ticket sales and the records for that are just abominable, even though we're actually reporting wrong considering everyone else is still reporting that it's doing well. That's just kind of had me a bit annoyed recently.
I learned this a long time ago. You can't spell ignorant without IGN.
Oh yeah, I know. IGN and Kotaku are just
Hey, Kotaku makes me
garbage
laugh,
people
though.
at this point.
Kotaku does make me laugh, but yeah, Kotaku's pretty much put the nail in their coffin when they attacked Bethesda.
Oh no, they've still like leaked the second Assassin's Creed game like for the 2nd year in a row, and are still bitching about the fact that Ubisoft doesn't like them. Well, don't leak their games that they've been working on.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like, it's like punching someone in the face and going, "Hug me." It does not happen.
It's like, do you love me yet?
Yeah.
Hit you again. Do you love me yet? Do you have
Can you give me
Stockholm
an
syndrome?
exclusive
Do you
sneak peek?
have
Do you
Stockholm
love me yet now? No.
It's like they're literally trying to make their readers get Stockholm syndrome.
Yeah. I mean, like again, they did that entire article on Ubisoft and how they blacklisted them so they don't get preview copies. It's because you keep leaking their games. They're not going to give you a preview copy of the game that you ruined part of the development for.
Yeah.
It's not that hard to grasp, in my opinion.
Nope, not at all. I'm completely on board with you.
Again, just IGN and Kotaku recently have really annoyed me. Like, I know there's different opinions and different ways of reporting, but
They take it too far sometimes.
neither of them. Yeah. Like, Age of Ultron was amazing, had faults. Yeah, they've
Whoa.
complained about some of
You robotoed there for a
Same
second.
things in Batman vs Superman. They did. Pardon,
We're losing you, man.
Russell.
Yeah.
Hello.
Can you hear me?
Right.
Ladies and gentlemen, technical difficulties.
Yes.
You can hear me?
Yeah. IGN. Yep, I can hear you.
The connection must be terrible. Thank you,
Been
Skype.
complaining about. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Go. I'm letting you go.
Well, I'll continue speaking and act like everyone can hear me fine. IGN complained about a whole load of things in Batman vs Superman that they about in Age of Ultron. Like, they still complained about the destruction of the city and all the collateral. The Avengers literally destroyed a city. They dropped from the air around. Yes, they were stopping Ultron, but it's the same thing can be said for Batman vs. They were stopping Doomsday. But you do see then people complaining about it so virulently as we did Batman vs Superman. It just... Again, that's why I am not
Yay, the connection
in a
fixed
favorable
itself.
kind of standing with IGN. Pardon?
I said, yay, the connection fixed itself. You were Dr. Robotniking the whole time.
Yay!
I hate Skype. I do. I really do.
I don't know if you heard any of that.
We got a good bit of it. You talked about how they complained about the collateral damage, and yet they let Marvel get away with dropping a whole city from the sky.
Yeah, again, Man of Steel. Oh, they've ruined parts of the city. They didn't drop it from the sky. Oh, but they were setting that up for Civil War. DC setting up for Justice League. The exact same thing can be said. Mm-hmm. It's just a whole bunch of bias and angry opinions. I know I'm biased when it comes to this stuff, because I am a DC fan, yes. But I can also look at it and go, I can see its faults. I can see that other people are also being biased. So could you just stop, please? But yeah, anyway, again, IGN's just been rubbing me the wrong way recently. But moving on with DC-related things, DC has moved the release for Wonder Woman solo movie forward by 3 weeks to June 2nd, 2017.
Interesting.
They also announced two dates for two unnamed films. I don't even have the dates because it was not included in any of the articles that I had found. But yeah, they announced that they're going to have two more unnamed films. Pretty sure one of them is going to be in 2018, but DC hasn't released any more details. It's probably one of them is probably going to be a Batman solo movie because they haven't announced any dates for that, and the other, I have no idea. Have any guesses?
Well, I mean, probably the third Superman movie, because, I mean, they're probably just going to use the Justice League to tell the post-story of 2. But, yeah, probably the third Superman movie.
Well, yeah, basically, Batman vs. Superman seems to be their Iron Man, 1, where they kind of started off their big universe. I know there's Man of Steel, but that didn't really open up the world at all. Iron Man did start to introduce Hulk, and then moved on to different things in the second one. So I think the way that they're going to go is Man of Steel, Batman vs Superman, Justice League's going to be their first Avengers, obviously. But then it's going to be a while until Part 2, and all that filler is pretty much going to be DC's Phase 2.
Pretty much, yeah.
I think they're shortening Phase 1 by quite a bit because they don't want to drag it out.
Yeah.
Because apart from anything, I know it's not a direct competition with Marvel, but if you go through your entire Phase 1 and Marvel's they're in Phase 3 of their movies or something, you need to catch up.
Yeah. Well, I don't disagree with you, but Marvel's hitting the problem where their actors don't want to do the films anymore, and it's not because they're not enjoying themselves. It's just they're getting old, and it's a little hard to do some of that stuff. And
Where's this coming from?
well, pretty much, Robert Downey Jr. is refusing to do an Iron Man film, but he will play Iron Man in whatever film you need him in. And it's
Where did you hear this?
long time ago. He announced that after Iron Man 3, that he was only going to do Iron Man in other films. He would never do a standalone Iron Man movie again. And then
I did hear in an interview that he pretty much considers Civil War as his Iron Man 4.
Yeah.
And if he's going to continue just kind of doing Iron Man in other movies, Iron Man has that bigger role in those other movies anyway. He's pretty much still doing Iron Man films.
Yeah, that's true, but there's also a rumor that the actor who plays Cap is wanting to pass the torch.
I don't like to listen to rumors.
Well, you've got to take every rumor at a point, because to certain standards, there's truth to them. Like they wouldn't be reported on if there wasn't a little pinch of truth to these rumors. And yeah, some of these actors don't want to do it. They've got a lot of their Avengers actors kind of wanting to go do different stuff.
I get that, but at the same time, they're all signed on up until Infinity War Part 2, and that's like, I think it's 2019 or something.
Yeah.
By that time, yes, I understand that they will really want to get away from that. That's still so many movies to go. I don't think anyone's really gonna notice their unwillingness, because they're still contracted to do those films, and they get paid ridiculous amounts.
Well, Disney.
Well, yeah, especially Disney. I mean, I can't remember specifically how much money Force Awakens made, but I know that the freaking leads made a whole bunch. But it was, I'm pretty sure like Robert Downey Jr. was even paid higher than the rest of his Avengers co-stars for the first one anyway. So again, he's still being paid more than the rest. So I don't think he's going to be hyper reluctant to do that many more films. But that's just what I thought anyway.
Yeah. It's a wait and see game.
Yep. Back to DC. I've seen multiple people coming out saying that Suicide Squad's doing reshoots to add humor, so you better be worried about it not being funny. But somebody official came out and said, no, it's not for adding humor. There was just a few action scenes that were missing. That's honestly all it was, which I believe. If they were going to be adding humor, I don't think that they would do that through reshoots, like shooting entire scenes just for humor. I don't necessarily see that happening.
I completely agree.
Like, you're not going to cut away from one scene to another scene just to have a bit of humor, then cut back to like some serious event. You need to keep the pace.
Yeah.
So I really don't think that they would have done it just for humor.
People want to be
scene kind of thing. Pardon?
People want to be right. That's the big thing, and they want to.
Yeah.
They want this whole not humor thing to be justified.
Yeah, see, the thing is, it's easier to shove an action scene into the middle of a film than it is a humor scene, because if that humor has nothing to, like, come from or bounce off of or anything, it just seems out of place and weird. If you just have an action scene that kind of ties into something that just happened or is going to happen, it makes sense.
Yeah, and honestly, like, everyone going into this movie being like, there's not going to be any humor. I'm like, have you not seen the trailer? Harley Quinn breaks a window, steals a purse, and says, what? We're bad guys. I laughed at that. That was funny. Like, you're going to get quirks from these characters. There's going to be a little bit of humor. But yes, the movie's going to be a very serious tone. Because, I mean, the Joker,
It's gonna be
for
serious
God.
to an extent.
Yeah, just, like...
I mean, the Joker is gonna be. I think this take. I cannot say anything about this take really, but I think it
This
might be
is...
just more dark humor
Yeah, well,
than
this is my complaint with,
clownish.
like, DC films. And it's not towards the movies themselves, it's towards the fans. We want more Batman movies, but we want them to be darker. All right? We get the
Okay,
Nolan
here's
films.
a Batman
we get
who
the Nolan
murders.
films. We get Batman
Not
versus
really.
Superman. They're very dark films.
Yep,
Where's the levity?
I know. It's
And-
just
oh, no, it's the
people who
same-
want to
it's the
complain
same
will
thing.
complain regardless.
It's the same thing. We want a Superman movie. All right? Superman Returns.
Oh, but we don't want them to be all nice and happy and like
But
Christopher
that's too
Reeve.
much like-
we want a realistic one.
Yeah.
So, okay,
that's-
here you go. Relatively.
Yeah, well, it's like, that's too much like the Christopher Reeve movies. We wanted him to have a big fight.
Yep.
Man of Steel. He did too much collateral damage. Like you can't please these people. I enjoy the films, and anyone who complains in my direction, I have a giant foam middle finger that I will show you and just keep up in front of you for the whole time you're looking at me.
Well, no. You can have your own opinions. Just don't shove them in people's faces.
Yeah, the internet. That's never gonna not happen.
Like every person that I have met, like in the real world, they have loved it.
Yeah, like anyone I talk to
They've
is
like
just
said, "Oh, it was everything I was expecting. It hit all the right beats. Pretty much how I felt about it. Oh yeah, I loved it." Almost everyone online has just been, "Oh, so bad.
yeah,
Oh, get Zack Snyder off of it." I'm just like, "Oh, okay, calm down."
go to hell. I'm sorry.
It was worse than
mean.
Avatar: The Last Airbender. No,
Oh no!
shut up.
No,
That is not an opinion you can have.
No, you're talking out your ass if you
Nothing.
think that movie was better than this.
Nothing will be worse than that.
Except
Ever.
maybe the
Even
sequel.
Green Lantern wasn't as bad as that. It still had Ryan Reynolds, which saved it to an extent for me.
And ruined it to an extent for a lot of people, but
Oh yeah, it ruined it to an extent for a lot of people, but it's still Ryan Reynolds. I still love the man. Yeah, he was in a movie that ruined a character for film for quite a while, but I honestly believe he was a good actor placed in a terrible movie.
yeah, I don't even blame the story. I don't even blame the movie so much as I blame like the director didn't know how to direct this film. I really feel that was the case.
You know, honestly, it wasn't necessarily the direction even for me. It wasn't even that. It was honestly everything that they wrote.
Yeah, some of the lines were just awkward.
No, but I know things aren't going to be exactly like the comic books, but turning
I don't
Parallax
know. Like if you've
to
not
be the
read,
entity of fear into a big-headed guy. Well, sorry, an entity that possesses a big-headed guy, and then does all that weird stuff, and then it's just pretty much a big smoke monster. It's real stupid.
yeah, throwing Parallax in there was just dumb. Everything else was okay. I mean,
They had a good Sinestro.
yeah. Oh my god, I love that. And the cliffhanger ending honestly made me want another film.
No, I wouldn't go that far. It made me
Well, like-
happy that they acknowledged Sinestro.
And the yellow
But-
ring
oh.
and
I would not go that far. But, yeah, again, people will complain. They'll complain because they want to complain about something.
yeah, I don't.
Everyone that I've met said they loved it. Everyone online, well, mostly have been kind of disappointed or virulently against it. But yeah, I'm excited for Suicide Squad. I think it's going to be real good. I think it's going to be a change of pace. I think it's going to be quicker and kind of more not self-aware necessarily. Well, yeah, actually, yeah, it will be more self-aware of what it is, I think, and that'll be what draws in a lot of people. Like Batman vs Superman, yeah, it's like a dark movie, but it doesn't necessarily know it's a dark movie. I don't think it fully goes into the point where everyone is just crying constantly. But I think Suicide Squad will be aware it's supposed to be a more funnier movie and will kind of play to that.
Yeah, there's going to be a bit more levity between how the characters act, because, I mean, it's Harley Quinn. If the actress is doing her job right, she's going to be breaking any sort of tension. She's going to be humorous. It's going to be fun.
It's not even necessarily the actress. I know a lot of actors can make a role, but if the writers know what they're doing, they will do it well. Because even like the best of actors cannot make a good character out of terrible writing.
True.
But yeah, again, aside for Suicide Squad, I hate people just ramming their opinions down other people's throats. And yeah, shall I move on to Star Wars?
Yeah, let's go ahead and talk about that, because I'm excited. Like, I watched that trailer and I was just, yeah.
Yep, Star Wars released a Rogue One trailer.
It's still a teaser trailer, but I'm gotta say, for a teaser trailer, there was a lot to that teaser trailer.
Oh, yeah, they're continuing the trend of having a teaser for a teaser trailer, which kind of annoys me. Well, it really annoys me. But the actual trailer itself was so freaking good that it eliminated any annoyance.
I found out where that picture came from. That's actually the poster you sent me, which I'm going to put up now because we're talking about Star Wars Rogue One. That came out of a Kotaku article, so I'm going to switch.
Oh.
All right, that's up. I hope it pops up here. I'm watching the lag.
Yep. But the main character will be called Jyn Erso. She is a rebel, but not necessarily a part of the Rebel Alliance from the get-go. She looks to be a freaking badass.
Yeah.
And knows how to handle herself, which has me excited. Also saw quite a bit of Mon Mothma?
Mon
Mothma.
Yeah.
Mon Mothma. I always...
It's a name.
Confuse her name. Yeah, we saw about her, and the actress who plays her really does just look like...
and she wasn't so...
It was like it's her daughter from... the actress from A New Hope, or like Return of the Jedi. It looks like it's her daughter or something. I saw the comparison picture. It's awesome. Saw some Dark Troopers, the AT-ATs on a beach planet of some sort. It'd be weird if that was Kashyyyk. But yeah, and just a whole bunch of other stuff. There's this bounty hunter, this weird samurai guy, and the trailer just generally has me very excited for the film. There was also a brief glimpse of what appeared to be a Sith. We know Darth Vader's going to be in it, but he seemed to be hooded, so it probably isn't Vader, so I have no idea who that was.
Maybe an Inquisitor?
Maybe. But yeah, the trailer has me real excited.
Yeah.
And again, it does have that nostalgic feel to it. There's a lot more kind of practical stuff that you could see.
Well, with the way Rebels,
I know a lot of people.
With the way the Rebels cartoon is going, it would not surprise me that this prequel movie, because it's what it is. It's a prequel to the original trilogy, but it's different. It's a side story. It doesn't relate to those characters in any way, but it relates to the...
Well, yeah, it's set right before it, and it's about how they stole the plans for the Death Star.
Mm-hmm. I'm just curious...
And also now that...
I'm just curious, is that General in White supposed to be Tarkin?
No, I don't think so.
Well, Tarkin is the one supposed to be overseeing the construction of this Death Star. This is Tarkin's baby.
You think about how long it would have taken to construct that Death Star, and how young, what do you call her, Mon Mothma looks. Mm-hmm. The gap between that and how long it would have taken, it might actually be a while until they finished constructing that.
Well, no, that's the thing, Tarkin was put in charge of it almost from day one.
All right.
Yeah, that's the end. Like, spoiler here if you haven't read the Tarkin book. It's actually really good. I do recommend it. I recommend the audiobook before I recommend the physical one, because I like the audiobook better, because the way Star Wars audiobooks are done is they're just freaking audio dramas. But for Tarkin, at the end of it, after the end of his whole story, he gets that promotion to Grand Moff and gets placed in charge of Death Star construction. And this is, like, very much post Order 66. There's, like, the troopers are still using the ARC fighters that the Jedi used. Like, they're still using, the old ARC fighters. TIE fighters haven't been introduced yet. In fact, they
apparently there was a brief glimpse of a stormtrooper wearing a clone trooper helmet, so it really does seem to be set in that kind of transitional period.
Yeah, well, we also saw Dark Troopers, which made me very excited. The Shadow Troopers? The black armor?
They weren't Shadow Troopers. I'm pretty sure they're Dark Troopers, which is from something else.
Well, it's the same thing. It's just black armored stormtroopers, which they're used to describe an elite force.
Okay.
Yeah.
I heard it was possibly the special elite troopers from a game called Star Wars Dark Forces or something.
If it's from the Dark Forces series, no, because they got infused with force crystals that let them move like a Jedi and a Sith.
Okay, no.
No, but yeah, it's the same concept. They're an elite squad of stormtroopers. Their black armor makes them to make them far more to let you know they're far more dangerous.
It's pretty much rank.
Yeah. Well, it's a squad.
It's pretty much to easily show their rank. Instead of like another pin or a medal or something, it is just giving them a different set of armor.
Yeah, well, yeah.
But the fact that we now know the main character is Jyn Erso, it kind of entirely debunks the whole Mare Jade theory, which a lot of people had, but people are still saying, oh, she has an English kind of accent, so she must be Rey's mum. No, not necessarily.
Yeah,
they could do it like that, but I doubt it.
Don't reach. I wouldn't be surprised if okay, I found it. They're Shadow Troopers. They're...
Okay, but like, they said this is a standalone story. It's not going to interconnect into anything. Don't start going, oh, it's definitely Rey's mother. No. But I am really excited for this.
Honestly, if they were going to tell that story, I would prefer that be like an animated film, just so Mark Hamill can voice Luke Skywalker.
But well, he could just be Luke Skywalker. Oh yeah. Never mind. My brain stopped working for a second there.
Yeah.
He could just be Luke Skywalker. Wait a second, he can't de-age himself by like 20 years.
Yeah.
Well, not 20, it's been longer than that. Oh my goodness, it's been a while. Yeah. Anyway, moving on. Maz Kanata is set to return in episode 8.
Yay! She
Confirmed
survived.
via the director/writer of the film on Tumblr.
Yay! She survived the
She had a
destruction of her
picture
bar.
of Maz. Yep, well, she's, apparently there's like this deleted scene which showed her using the Force on the troopers in the bar or something.
Oh, I can't wait to
her
see that. My Blu-ray should be coming in soon. I'm gonna actually check on that.
But, the picture showed the actress doing the mocap for Maz, so it's pretty much assumed that it's for episode 8. But I was quite impressed with Maz in episode 8. I know she didn't have like an overwhelming amount of screen time, but I thought the character was really interesting, so it's cool that she's coming back. Do you have any thoughts?
No, I'm super excited for this. I cannot wait. For anything. Yep. It's just so much right now. I'm like, oh, and I'm like, I think the big thing for me with the trailer was, while looking at it and like, hey, they're on Yavin. I recognize the Yavin base. I'm like, holy crap, yep. I recognize the Yavin base. They're doing a really good job of making this feel like one of the old films.
Wait, Star Wars Episode 8?
Mm-hmm. Like, but this one.
There hasn't been a trailer for Episode 8.
Yeah. There's been a trailer for 8?
No, I just said we're talking about Episode 8, and you're talking about Yavin and seeing
Episode
it.
8? Yeah. I don't know.
Well, that's what I was talking about, Maz Kanata.
Yeah, I'd be glad to see her come back. If she's a Force user or a Jedi, that's great.
She isn't a Jedi, I know that much.
But her being a Force user is great. I'd be happy if there's this. Well, I mean, we know there are Force users out there. I mean, Rebels. I'm gonna go back to Rebels because there's Kanan, a former Padawan with his own apprentice.
Well, no, the thing that kind of more cements that there are powered people out there is the fact that Luke was teaching a class of Jedis. It wasn't just like young Ben Solo and Rey or whatever else. It was a class, so is more Force users out there.
Yeah, and
yeah, I know some of them were slaughtered by Kylo or something like that, in whatever event happened, which we're probably going to find out about in Episode 8. But there's still probably going to be a whole bunch out there.
Yeah, I'm very curious to see what happens. I really am.
Yep. Moving on, Eric Bowersfield, the voice of Admiral Akbar, has passed away at the age of 93.
Aww.
I mean, I would be overwhelmingly sad, but 93 is...
That's impressive.
Yeah, that's an impressive age. He lived a life, so... Sad to see him pass, but... He must have lived a very long life. If I can move on to Marvel now?
Yeah, what's going on with Marvel?
Benedict Cumberbatch visited a New York comic store dressed as Doctor Strange after wrapping up the section of the filming. He took like multiple pictures with the fans and bought one of the Doctor Strange graphic novels.
Good. That was cool. I'm glad to see he's researching the role.
It's not just that; it's more got to see a bit of a better look at his costume as well. And there's some like set photos also released, but like the outfit just still looks so freaking awesome, and he does look to be the perfect actor for it.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, he does look to be the perfect actor for the series. The only other person I probably would have put in this role, and he's way too old for it now, would have been Bruce Campbell. In his heyday, I would have put Bruce Campbell as Doctor Strange.
Well, anyway, there was also quite a few set pictures released, including one of Mads Mikkelsen's character. I don't know who he's playing, but the makeup department's doing an awesome job. I just sent a picture.
Okay, yeah. Oh, wow. That's interesting. Very interesting.
No CG on that, it's just the makeup department.
Yeah. It looks like someone tried to char his eye out.
Yep, but yeah. I've watched quite a bit of him in Hannibal and a few other things, and he can do villainous very well, so I'm excited to see him and Cumberbatch, like, at odds.
Yeah. Yeah, the costume for Strange in this looks amazing, so I'm kind of happy.
Yep.
Looking at some of those pictures.
Yep, it's also been announced that there's going to be a trailer on April 12th on Jimmy Kimmel, apparently, for Doctor Strange. What?
I won't watch it! I'll wait for
Why?
YouTube. I hate Jimmy Kimmel after the whole Let's Play fiasco. He opened his mouth, inserted his foot, and then tried to pull his foot out through his ass.
He made a mistake, but a lot of people do it. I wouldn't necessarily say that I hate him for it.
No, I'm mad about it because what he said...
It's not like he was Pardon?
like, it's not so much of what he said, it's how he went about trying to save himself, and it just didn't feel sincere.
Well, the only thing he really attacked was he was pretty much parodying gamers. It's not like he said something stupidly racist or sexist or like homophobic or something like that, or he was attacking
No.
someone. He was just making a stupid parody and made a mistake with what he did with it. So
Well,
honestly, I feel indifferent about him.
Yeah. It's just, I'll catch it on YouTube.
Okay. But yeah, I'm excited to see the trailer. I'm gonna finally get to see Doctor Strange, like how he acts as the character, and I'm hoping to see a bit of Mads Mikkelsen's character because I still don't know who the hell he's playing, and it's kind of bugging at this point. But moving on, yeah, the Spider-Man solo film, the rebooted one for the third time, is going to be part of the MCU, like, properly. Apparently there's going to be an Avenger or two passing by in the movie, so it kind of solidifies it.
Like the way they put the way they put
Hawkeye
Falcon
in Thor.
the way they put Hawkeye and Thor, Falcon in Ant-Man.
Yep. It's going to be something similar to that, apparently. But yeah, the fact that the solo film, which is still being handled by Sony, I think, or something, is going to be a part of the MCU, makes me happy. It makes sense. There'd be no point in getting the rights over him if you couldn't make his solo film. But
I just wish they could do the same with Universal and be able to do a Hulk solo film.
Yeah, well, Universal's a bit of a different entity.
Yeah.
They're not so cooperative.
No.
And plus, I think they're gonna do a Fox. I think they're gonna wait right until like the deal runs out that they still have the rights, and then they're just gonna make a really terrible movie with that character.
Well,
And
here's the
force
problem.
One.
Here's the problem with that. Universal's had the rights since the original Hulk show. They're the one who produced that show, so...
Yep.
So I don't know what their contract states, but if they've had the rights that long, there might not be a loss of contract.
Well, I don't know if there is or not, because they did make, like, what was it? 2 Hulk movies and then The Incredible Hulk?
No, The Incredible Hulk was the second one. They made Ang Lee's Hulk. That was terrible. Then the Iron Man film took off, and then they made The Incredible Hulk with Marvel Studios and set that up to be a film thing, but then Marvel Studios wanted to be their own thing, and then Disney purchased them and started distributing the
Pardon? Russell? Hello?
Morgan,
I
can you
do
hear
not know if anyone in the podcast... Hello?
Can you hear me now?
Hello?
Can you hear me now?
Yes. Yes.
The technical difficulties today are driving me nuts. Okay. Let me
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Let me go back to what I was saying about the Hulk film. There was the Ang Lee Hulk film. I think it was just called Hulk. It was terrible. It really was. The cinematography was just awful. Ang Lee thought panels would be cool, like comic-like, and they were terrible. Then they partnered with Marvel Studios for The Incredible Hulk, which is the one that is canon to the MCU universe. It just doesn't star our Hulk. It's like in Avengers when he says, the last time I...
Yeah. I really like... Yep. I really like that movie.
You were breaking up.
Like, the character that Tim Roth was like. Hello? Oh.
I can hear you.
Oh.
Can you hear me?
Yes. Can you? Russell,
Yes.
can you hear me?
Yes.
Cool.
You just
I really liked. Pardon?
you're just very robotic right now, and that's the connection. Like, I've got to do something about it. It's not been this bad before, but right now it's terrible.
Well, I do not believe it's on my end.
No, it's on my end, and I'm getting a little aggravated. I'm about to have words with my provider.
Well, I loved Tim Roth in that movie. I hated Abomination.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't like the design for Abomination. I liked everything leading up to that. I just didn't like the design.
You know, like I was fine. I was fine with Tim Roth's character up until Abomination. Then everything just did not work for me. I know that's just me personally, but yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say it's a terrible movie. Just because I didn't necessarily like that one character does not mean it was a bad movie. I still enjoyed it.
That's the canon movie. That's the canon to the MCU movie.
Oh, I know.
And I enjoyed
even
that movie.
had a little Easter egg in Daredevil. It was like the Harlem Troubles or something.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's like he said in Avengers. The last time I was in New York, I kind of broke Harlem.
Yep. Yeah, moving on from all of that, Wolverine 3 has cast its main villain. It's apparently this leader of some sort of corporation that's hunting down Wolverine, and he's going to be played by Boyd Holbrook.
Interesting.
An actor who I am not familiar with.
Yeah, same here.
I honestly cannot really comment on the actor because the name does not sound familiar to me in the slightest. He was apparently in Gone Girl, which is something I have not seen. And yeah, I no idea who he is. But anyway, at least they're casting for the movie, and it means it's moving along. It's gonna be freaking Hugh Jackman's last Wolverine movie, so it better be freaking good. It was also announced that Patrick Stewart's gonna be in it as Xavier.
Yay!
I love Patrick Stewart.
I do too.
I mean, not only is he the perfect Professor Xavier, he is a hilarious man.
Yeah, he's great. I love him just completely.
Pardon?
Is that all we've got, like, movie news wise?
No, still got a few more little things. Well, more TV related, to be honest.
Okay.
Yeah, Netflix cast Jessica Henwick as the female lead Colleen Wing, who is a dojo owner in Iron Fist.
Cool. I'm so excited for that. I can't wait till that starts filming.
Yep.
And...
She apparently befriends Danny and helps him in some way or form. But she's a Game of Thrones actor or something, so that's... Like, the two leads are Game of Thrones actors, which is weird.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I don't want to make any assumptions about what's happening with Game of Thrones, but I walked away from it because of last season.
Well, what about last season?
It just got, the plot line got dry for me. I wasn't interested in what they were doing. It just got meh.
Okay.
I mean, I'm not like saying anything bad about the show. It was just I lost my pool. Like, I loved everything up until that.
Yeah. But, yep, they're continuing to cast for Iron Fist, so yeah, that's definitely moving along. And yeah, before they cast Finn Jones as Danny, a lot of people were saying, "Oh no, Iron Fist, it might be in danger." No, I honestly don't think it ever was. I just think that sometimes casting can take a while.
Yeah.
And plus, Netflix has got it right for me every time. So if they're taking more time to get it to the point that they feel it's right, go ahead. I honestly do not care. But again, the fact that it's moving along has me happy. Luke Cage is going to be premiering in September, so this should come out early next year. So I'm happy with that. Continuing with Marvel TV, apparently there's going to be a Cloak and Dagger TV series on the Freeform network, which is previously known as ABC Family.
Interesting. That one's going to be weird, especially since it's about two runaway kids who spend the majority of their time together trying, like in the early storyline, trying not to admit they have feelings for one another.
Yep, but it's two magical people, one who can make like light-based knives and the other person who can teleport, I believe.
Their powers are direct opposites. Yeah, Cloak's power is shadow based, and he can pretty much create portals through shadows.
Teleport people and such.
And Dagger's powers are
and
light
daggers,
based.
manipulating light and like daggers and stuff.
Yeah, they're light based.
If I don't know anything about the network. It probably isn't a great network. Marvel normally knows what they're doing when it comes to TV, especially. So do that. It should be good because they are interesting characters. Just not really something I've seen before. So yeah, I hope it goes well, but I'm not really optimistic.
Yeah,
I can move.
It's interesting right now. But yeah, I'm just curious. It should be okay. The network is probably its biggest weakness.
Yep. I can move on to game news if you want.
Yeah, let's talk games.
Koei Tecmo's Attack on Titan game is to be released in North America August 30th. No word on Europe.
Okay.
It's pretty much a reverse Dynasty Warriors. You're not one of like the big heroes that's fighting off armies. You're one of the army soldiers fighting one of the massive things.
Okay.
Concept sounds interesting enough because I liked Hyrule Warriors a whole bunch, and if they pull it off in a similar way, it could be good.
Well, I like that they're not interfering with the story of the series in any way.
Oh no, apparently it just, I don't know if it retells or just kind of slightly adds or something to the story of the anime, but apparently that's where they're taking it directly from. They're not really looking to the source material as much as just the anime and making it into a game. So if it's a good game, it should be real good, and I should enjoy it.
Yeah.
So on that kind of fault, I'm looking forward to it. But if it does turn out to be a mess that's just far too experimental and just really doesn't work, then I will be quite disappointed.
It's going to be interesting.
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting to say the least.
Yep. That's going to be released in North America August 30th. Gears of War also has a release date. It'll be released the 11th of October.
Yay. Chesley will be happy.
Yep. I've played Gears of War 3 for like 5 minutes, and I've played nothing else. So that news, I'm indifferent to it.
Yeah, same here.
But Gears fans, it's good news. It has a release date. It's not too far away. And yeah. See that footage from Pokemon Sun and Go, Sun and Moon, that was supposed to be released in Japan the other day?
Okay.
Well, yeah, I said the other week about it, but yeah, there was no new footage. It was pretty much the exact trailer that America got, but Japan didn't have it, so they got it. There's nothing new.
Okay. That's a shame.
Yep, but the director said there will be over 10 new Pokemon, which is just, well, I assumed.
It's hard to. It's just hard to take. Like, here's how you do a Pokemon game anymore. Wait for it. Just wait. Get all your surprises as it comes out.
Well, yeah, I'm fine with that.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any problems?
No, it's just they're trying to build up hype for a game that they don't really need to build up hype for because it's flipping Pokemon.
Well, they're really not building up any hype. They haven't shown anything really, so I think they're kind of doing the opposite of that.
We'll see. I think it's going to be an okay game. I'm interested to see what direction they're going in. I mean...
Well, I have confidence it's going to be really good, especially since they said they're trying to go back to the more basic kind of red and blue kind of thing.
Yeah. Well,
and
they said the same thing about Black and White, and apparently I'm in the minority on this show, but I loved Black and White.
So why are you negative about Sun and Moon then? If
I'm not.
You really enjoyed Black and White and they're going for that, then...
No, I'm not negative about it. It's just all of this 10 new Pokemon stuff. It's just I've been doing this for so long with Pokemon. It's more of those things like you've already got my money. Shut up, leave me alone.
They've got you, but they still need to get more people. They still need to appeal to the new generations. They haven't been playing that for 10 years or 20 years or whatever long anyone's been playing it for. That's what a lot of people, especially Nintendo, are trying to do. They're trying to appeal to the new generations while also still trying to kind of appeal to the older.
Is there a cartoon still on TV?
Yeah.
I'm not worried.
Why?
That'll do it.
It'll do what?
It'll sell the game.
Okay.
You gotta understand, games, to an extent, especially a franchise like Pokemon, have to rely on all of their marketing in every way. And it's one of my complaints about some of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Filler in the original series is the story was a contrived rehash of a plot they'd already done, but it was designed to sell something. Like, it was designed to sell new cards for Yu-Gi-Oh's case. In Pokemon's case, it's designed to sell you on the game. Like, there's a reason why, old cartoons in early 90s and 80s had these, we'll be right back after these messages, because they had to tell kids, hey, we're advertising stuff. Because the shows were essentially 24-minute toy ads.
Not necessarily.
Not 100% of the time. But, Transformers, He-Man, Thundercats, G.I. Joe, Care Bears.
Yeah,
the top 5 off of my head were those. But yeah.
But I still don't see how anything's necessarily changed, and I don't see why there's a problem with that. If that's how they're going to do it, that's how they're going to do it. There's nothing that anyone can really do to change that.
Like I said,
and if everyone's getting what they're wanting, if the older generations are getting Pokemon games they still enjoy, and the younger generations are, ooh, toys! I do not see where the problem lies.
That's the issue. You gotta understand, they're doing all of this because there is a 1 or less than 1% change in their schematics, their numbers, and that's what's driving them to be more aggressive with
what schematics?
PR. Like them being like, hey, new Pokemon, hey, very much like old Red and Blue for the anniversary. Like, and there goes the robot voice again.
What?
You roboted again. My connection's terrible.
I did not say anything.
I know, it's just... It was just the, Oh, wow. It was just, It's the connection being bad.
Okay, it's fine now, yes.
Yeah, we're good. But, like I was saying, I think we've just miscommunicated something, where I'm just aggravated with the whole, like, 10 new Pokemon thing.
They said over 10 new Pokemon thing. They're just of course there's going to be over 10 new Pokemon.
Yeah.
It's a new generation.
I expect anywhere from 100 to 150 new Pokemon.
Well, yeah, that's how much a Pokemon generation normally goes.
Average, yeah. Like, Black and White did a full 150. Gold and Silver did 100 new ones.
And again, I don't really see where the problem is. It's how they survive still. Well, not survive, they've got more than enough money, but it's how they stay relevant.
Yeah, and that's just it. It's, like I said, this aggressive marketing and PR that they're doing for...
It's not aggressive. If anything, they're under-marketing this game so far. They released one trailer that was just discussing the anniversary more than the actual game. They have not shown anything for Sun and Moon yet. So if anything, they are under-marketing this.
And they may wait for E3 for Sun and Moon. Or at least their E3 presentation.
Yeah, but again, complaining of over-marketing when they're doing the opposite.
Let's move on to the next game.
Okay.
I think we've beaten a dead horse.
Okay. Bethesda released a trailer for Fallout 4's second DLC, Wasteland Workshop.
That sounds like it
will be released. Pardon?
Will there be story content to this workshop? To this?
I do not know, but it's going to add a whole bunch of new settlement tools and like different settlement items. It's going to allow you to capture like the beasts of the wasteland, like Pokemon.
Yeah, I saw
and
that.
Either display them or use them as like Pokemon battles or as you're battling kind of people. And yeah, it'll be released April 12th for $3.99 in the UK and $4.99 in America.
And if you already have the season pass, you're going to get it.
Yep. So I'm excited. I played Armatron. It was real good.
I need to play Armatron. Like right now, I've been sitting down and making myself play through Twilight Princess some more.
Yep.
I'm in Kakariko Village.
Ooh. But yeah, I really enjoyed Automatron. I really enjoy the settlements and everything. I build a whole bunch of stuff, so having more tools for that will be helpful. And plus, freaking Deathclaw Pokemon.
Yeah, catch Deathclaw.
That's.
I do love the one box
Deathclaw,
that you
use Maul attack.
It's like I love the one box that just said cat. He's like, what? I get lonely in the trailer.
Oh yeah, I know. Pets as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, it looks good. Excited for April 12th. It'll keep me busy for a bit.
Yeah.
So yeah. Unless you have any other topics or any topics.
Yeah. So, like I said last week, I picked up the Yu-Gi-Oh manga and read all the way through it. I enjoyed it, but that got me wondering. I've been hearing good things about Shonen Jump Weekly, their digital magazine now, since the physical copy went under here in the U.S. So I picked it up, and they're pretty spot on with like certain things. They're trying to keep 1-to-1 with the Japanese release as well. But the new Naruto sequel manga, Boruto, which is not being made by the original creator, but is being overseen by him, is set to release later this month. May 9th is when the first manga should pop up in that, and I'm hoping that this is true, but the creator of Yu-Gi-Oh! Is releasing 2 new chapters to lead into the new movie. First chapter should be next week. Should be this Monday, actually, the 11th. So I will know next week if we got it here in the U.S. But yeah, I've been reading manga again, and I've got me a new manga. I've been looking for something new for a while to get into. My Hero Academy did it. Like, this is it's this take on like a superhero high school, and it's about this kid who didn't have superpowers, but now he does, and it's how he's learning to use them and deal with going through school and stuff like that. Of these people, especially when most of the kids in this school have had all their powers most of their lives and to get used to them. On the same time, he has to keep... It's pretty interesting, and I'm liking it. So... I recommend it if anyone's a Shonen fan, but they've got a lot of good stuff in Shonen Jump. Bleach is still running. One Piece is still running. They have Food Wars. Trying to think of some of the other things. Assassination Classroom, Yu-Gi-Oh! Zexal. You know, so on and so forth. So it's like, it's up to you what you want to watch. I'm enjoying what you want to read. I'm enjoying it so far. Glad to be back. I got the first Loot Gaming crate today. I signed up for it, and it was pretty neat. Came with a Funko Mystery Mini for Heroes of the Storm, which was great. I've been trying to finish that collection. An awesome retro, like, Super Mario Brothers t-shirt with pixel art all over it, which I love. A Master Chief hood scarf combo, and a pair of Skyrim socks.
Hmm.
Yeah, so, so Loot Gaming, it's interesting. It's a bit more expensive than normal Loot Crate, but, oh, and I also got, you know that pin on M. Bison's hat? The Shadowloo pin? I also got that. So,
cool.
Yeah. But yeah, it's real neat. It's, specifically meant for gaming. Next month's crates, gonna have Fallout 4 or Fallout, BioShock 2, I think Division and Mirror's Edge are some of the games they're advertising for it. If you're interested, you can sign up now. But yeah, Loot Gaming's pretty nice if you're a gaming fan and you just want gaming merchandise. That's the one you go for.
Cool.
Yeah.
Is that everything you have?
No, so some figure news, just trying to keep in touch with things. We haven't seen any prototypes of these yet, but they got announced at WonderCon this year, which is really hard for me to keep up with because WonderCon is a Japanese toy festival. So these are going to be Japanese toys. And the company I'm focused on right now is Good Smile Company. And these are the two big things. They're doing a Twilight Princess Figma Link, which I'm excited about. Their Figma figure is a artistic, posable, collectible figure, which is really good. They're really good quality figures. The other one that got me excited is their Ninroid figures, which is their super deformed figures, the little SD characters. They're doing Meta Knight.
Cool.
Yeah, so I will have Meta Knight to fight my sword Kirby.
Cool.
Other than that, the company that just recently announced, I think Union Creative, they showed off the prototypes for their the Yu-Gi-Oh movie figures, and they will have the Dark Magician and the Yu-Gi-Oh I showed you. They showed, but they will also have a Seto Kaiba sometime in the future. So I'm looking forward to Kaiba, or as Pegasus calls him, Kaiba Boy. But yeah, that's just some of the stuff I found out about WonderCon. WonderCon was several weeks ago. It's late news, but like I said, WonderCon is very hard for me to keep up with because there's not a lot of U.S. coverage for it outside of very specific sites looking for very specific things. But yeah, there's stuff like that. Yeah, other than that, I've got nothing. And seeing with how many technical difficulties we've got right now, I'm going to, let's call this.
I have B news before we stop.
Oh, okay. Yeah, go on.
Well, my little TV reviews.
Yeah, go for it.
Right, well, starting us off, The Walking Dead's Season 6 finale aired. It's called Last Day on Earth, and it was okay. Chessie would probably, extremely argue with me about this, but I didn't really entirely delivered as a season finale. See, the last minutes, they were amazing. They were real good. Had Jeffrey Dean Morgan as Negan, and he was awesome. It pulled from the comic almost directly. But the entire other 45 minutes, or whatever it was, of the episode was literally the gang in an RV driving up some roads, seeing that Stephen Ogg and his friends. Stephen Ogg was Trevor in GTA, and he was an amazing actor in The Walking Dead because he fits that perfectly. But Stephen Ogg and his buddies working for Negan, blocking off the road. Oh no, this road's blocked, so let's go down another road. What? The Saviors are there too, they blocked off this road, so let's go to the other one. And it's pretty much that for the entire 45 minutes leading up to Negan. So it, again, doesn't really deliver as an actual season finale, but that last 15-minute section was that good, it probably saved it to the point that it's, I don't know, maybe a 6.5, a 7 for me.
Okay.
Again, Chessie or that would probably argue with me and dispute my point a whole lot, but that's my view.
I'm sorry, when you said the title, my next thought was, oh, great, the next season's going to be in space. Zombies on the moon.
Yep, pretty much. But the ending as well was they didn't even show who Negan killed. They just pretty much murdered the cameraman, which is a lot of people's complaints. He was going eeny, meeny, miny, mo, and then when he got to the last person, you didn't see who it was. It was just the camera looking up to him, and he hits it. Oh no, we're not going to find out until next season. That's some great writing. Not necessarily in my opinion, but again, those 15 minutes were amazing, so it does bring it up quite a bit. But it really did not deliver for me in the way that I thought it would. But moving on, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is something that I don't talk about a lot, but this week's episode was real good, so I thought I kind of had to talk about it. Their Inhuman storyline has been quite consistent as being good, and is really ramping up to an incredible season finale with a lot of the Inhuman characters that they're introducing and all the twists and everything that they're pulling off. And yeah, this episode was real good. It was called Space Time, ironically. On my list, I've got Walking Dead, Last Day on Earth, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., Space Time. But yeah, I'd give it a 9. It's real good. Finale's going to be incredible, if that's any indication. Moving on to something that was not incredible. It was the epitome of not good. Arrow.
Wow, a bad episode of Arrow.
They had an episode called 11:59, and you find out who's in the grave that they've been teasing all season. And, right, spoiler alert, if you don't mind, I'm going to be saying who it is because I need to... If you don't mind.
It's Grant. Grant's in Grant's tomb, right?
Pardon?
It's an old joke. Who's in Grant's tomb?
Okay. But, do you mind if I say?
Yeah, go ahead. Go for it. Spoiler alert.
Yep, Laurel Lance.
They're killing the canary?
They killed a second Black Canary. They killed Sarah Lance at the start of season 3. Now they've killed another one in season 4. It's like they just went, we want to kill someone. Better be someone in the Lance family because no one else is allowed to die.
I honestly thought it was going to be her father once you confirmed that it wasn't going to be Felicity.
Oh yeah, that's what I thought too. But no, they killed off a Black Canary, like one of the only other ties apart from Green Arrow that they properly have to the comics. And yeah, apparently she isn't coming back. There's going to be no fake out, even though her last words were, Oliver, you've always been the love of my life, but I'm so happy for you and Felicity. Her dying words were an Olicity-related statement, which really pissed me off. But what really annoyed me as well is they were in the middle of speaking. She asked, can you do one thing for me? And then the camera cut away. The doctor had said she was entirely fine. And then after that, the camera came back and, oh, she's seizing. She's dead. And they're saying it wasn't a cop-out. She doesn't fake it. So that just seems like real bad writing. And they said that you're not going to find out what she's going to say until season 5. So all that... everything that I just talked about right there is what makes this episode an abomination in my eyes. That, like, not even 10 minutes, that, like, say 7 minutes at the end where all that stuff happens, that just ruined the entire episode for me. Like, she didn't even die, like, doing something badass. She died because her father crossed the villain and he wanted to annoy Oliver. Which really just took away from her character even more. I mean, I've said before, I didn't necessarily like how they've been writing her, but the solution to that isn't kill her off, it's write her better.
Yeah, I completely agree.
I think the actress has a lot of potential for the character. She even said that she loves the character and being able to play her. If they wrote her well, I think she could be a really good Black Canary. But no, their solution is kill her off and make Oliver continue with Felicity, who is, but at this point, a really unnecessary and annoying character, to be honest.
And that's why I hate shippers.
Yep, because on the showrunner, Mark Guggenheim, has even said pretty much that he just listens to Tumblr people who love him. And they even named Felicity, like, her code name.
From Tumblr.
Oh yeah, Felicity from Tumblr, and they even used that in an episode, by the way.
Yeah, I know. I saw that episode.
But, yeah, they even named her, like a fan named her code name, Overwatch. It was a fan that came up with that. So, yeah, I am really not liking what they're doing with that. But, right, now that I've talked about that, see the rest of the episode, before those final 9 minutes, before all that stuff happened, it was actually a great episode. It hit a lot of good beats. Like, storyline going forward was really interesting. It was building up to something that seemed to be really good at the time. Like, the writing was much better. There was no, it's cruel that I can save the city but not my love life. There was none of that. Because Felicity wasn't in the episode until those final 9 minutes where all that happened. That's where everything honestly just fell apart. Like, the main villain was real good and all that and stuff, but it was those final 9 minutes that killed it. It honestly had the opposite problem that The Walking Dead had for me. And that's why the episode was honestly a 5.5 or a 6 for me. It was... like, honestly, depending on how the season finale goes, I may stop watching Arrow, and that is something I did not think I would say.
We'll see. Let's just wait for the season finale.
Yeah, but I get it's just I hate the internet sometimes, especially when shippers interfere with things and people actually listen to them.
Heck, the Avatar Book 3 trailer back then when that was done for the
Yep,
original Avatar series, that was
yep,
done that way just to make shippers happy. Like, it alluded to a relationship between us, two characters that weren't in a relationship.
yep. But yeah, I honestly think if they continue the way that they're continuing, it will be the downfall of Arrow for me. Flash did not have an episode this week. It was on hiatus, which also kind of just solidified how bad it was as well.
Because there was no pick me
Arrow
up
was
after Arrow.
yeah, Flash picks me up after Arrow and or before Arrow, and I'm just like, okay, at least I've seen something good this week. But there was none of that this week, and it just kind of left me to sit there with my thoughts on the episode. And looking back, I could only think about more and more of how I really did not like that episode.
My prescription for you: sit down, finish Daredevil season 2.
Oh yeah, I almost have actually. I've got one episode left. And I also finished Jessica Jones entirely.
Yeah, that series is great.
Oh yes, real good. Ending's real good, especially. But yeah, 11:59 Arrow 6. Flash is on hiatus, so there's none of that. But there is the news that they're going to introduce a Earth 2 Black Canary, but she's going to be called Black Siren, and I think she's going to be a villain.
Yeah.
But they're going to be introducing her, which is quite interesting, I think. Like, I don't think she's going to have any interactions with Green Arrow or anything, so I don't think there's going to be that kind of emotional impact or anything similar to that. But I do think it's going to be an interesting, like, kind of event to see the actors working off each other, playing those different roles. But yeah, Flash will be back next week, I think, so that there's always that to look forward to. And last but not least, Legends of Tomorrow had the episode called Progeny. This was more my pick me up from Arrow than anything else. Legends hasn't been as good as Flash, but it also is still on its first season, so I can't really mark it down for that. Like, this episode had a great storyline, exploring what was essentially a baby Hitler. The ramifications of time travel were shown in quite a good light as well, because it pretty much at the end, spoiler alert, they failed entirely, and if anything, sped up the problems they were trying to prevent. But the way they pulled it off was real good, and all like the morality kind of questions they did in amongst it all sit quite well with me. But it wasn't necessarily their best episode. I'd say it's probably a dip from what they normally do, but still all around a really good episode. And continuing with how they're getting things a bit better, their villains also quite good. It's Vandal Savage.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yep, and again, the premise is pretty much they're going throughout time to battle him because he's an immortal, so they have to try and pinpoint him at different times and try and take him down from then. And they were in the future of this episode, and that's where they're trying to take him down. It is a real good episode, and the fact that it is a real good episode, and that's a dip in the series, kind of speaks to how good it's been for me recently. So yeah, that's about an 8. But yeah, that's everything on TV this week. Bluntly, Walking Dead wasn't what it could have been, was still good. Arrow was a mess, and Legends was real good. So unless you have anything else, would you like to end it here?
Yeah, let's wrap up. We've been having a lot of technical difficulties, and I need to figure out what that is. So, yeah.
Yep. I do not believe it's on my end.
No, I think it's on my end, and like I said, I'm going to have words with my service provider. Because if I'm right, I'm going to have to leave OBS running for a bit just to make sure the end of the episode gets on. Because I think we're delayed quite a bit. So,
okay.
Yeah, let's wrap here. We want to thank everybody for coming out. Thank you for listening. Hit that like and subscribe button. It helps us out. You can follow me at robo_luchador.
You can follow me at Elusive Speed with an I.
And we thank you for watching, and we'll see you all next week. Bye now.
Bye.